in regard to, well, the alleged price-fixing practices as per the complaint initiated by the Commission itself in 2017. That was in September. The complaint was initiated against QT Sports and other entities that conduct business as football agents and who formed themselves as the South African Football Intermediaries Association. QT Sport former Chief Executive Tim Sukazi joins me in studio. Tim, welcome to the program. Nice to have you. Let's start off there, Kevin Anderson. In fact, apologies again. I'm going to ask my director, Kevin Anderson, speaking to Tim. Apologies. I know you want to take this well. Let's listen. Kevin Anderson's having a chat there with the commentary.
You know, just playing like that in those sort of conditions, I mean, it's really tough on both of us. I mean, at the end, you know, you feel like this is a draw between the two of us, but you know, somebody has to win. And you know, John's such a great guy, and you know, I really feel for him, because you know, if I'd been on the opposite side, I don't know, you know, how you can take that playing for so long and coming out short. So yeah, so I apologize if I'm not more excited right now. Just so many mixed emotions. Getting through something like that is, you know, it's quite different.
But to give people at home context, it's not just this epic match. You've known each other for, 14 years through the college tennis as well. You've been rivals for such a long time. The intensity was huge out there. Yeah,
I mean, as I was saying, John's such a great guy, and, to be honest with you, he's really pushed me throughout my career as well. He's had such a great career, and, a lot of times I've, constantly pushed myself harder because, some of the successes he's had, and, as I said, all I can say is just, congrats to John on such a great tournament. I mean, semi-finals here, is a remarkable achievement, and, hopefully it can come back stronger, very soon.
Thank you very much there. Kevin Anderson is through to the final at SW19. Let's bring Tim Sukazi in. Tim, I know you're a big sports fan. Before we got to the business of your interview, what do you think of that?
Yeah, sure. It's a proud moment for South Africa, I must say. I'm sure many of St. Stephen's fellows, are walking tall right now. It's a very proud moment. It's their former student. And it doesn't come every day for South African to make it this far in the Wimbledon.
Now let's come back to why we're speaking to you today, Tim. I did mention in the intro earlier, QT Sports and Competition Commission, an agreement was matched between the two of you. It had to do with price fixing, if I can put it that way. Just give us the background of exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah, we are simply talking about an agreement reached by Quality Talent Sports and the Competitions Commission in a matter that relates to an alleged price fixing by agents or South African agents relating to commission that they charge to players. So as Quality Talent Sports, we were part of the agents that were charged by the commission. In other words, when they initiated the complaint, they drew us in. And of course, this is despite the fact that as Quality Talent Sports, actually, we were never part of the formation called SAFIA, that is the South African Football Intermediaries Association.
So how was your name dragged in there, if I can put that way? Because, I mean, there's a press release that obviously an agreement was reached between QT Sports as well as the commission. QT Sports being fined, or how do I put it, having to pay administrative costs is how you put it. One could say, well, that's a guilty plea. I mean, why would you have to pay anything? Clarify that. I mean, if you were not found guilty of price fixing, what was this about with Competition Commission?
Yeah, look, it's not a guilty plea at all, none whatsoever. A settlement agreement in its nature, it's meant for a particular purpose. And before a person would reach, or parties to a litigation would enter into a settlement agreement, there are various considerations. So in our case as QT Sports, despite the fact that we have not been party to SAFIA activities that resulted to the initiation of the complaint by the commission, we felt strongly that despite that, we need to cooperate with the commission, because for one, I, Tim Sukazi, as you may know by now, I'll be out of QT Sports as its chief executive.
When the season starts, yeah.
Yes, and leading or taking a leading role at TS Galaxy, which is a professional football club. And also, be it QT Sports, however, my name personally has been drawn into it. And now you'll know that I'm a practicing attorney. It's so undesirable to have a practicing attorney under the same name and style being drawn into a protracted litigation against a statutory body such as the Competitions Commission. So we looked at those things. Of course, I need not mention the cost that may be involved in such a litigation of this nature. You know, so we weighed all facts and circumstances, and we thought it wise that we should rather settle this.
The Competition Commission, I'm reading the quote now, the rooting out of the cartel conduct among soccer agents uncovered by the Competition Commission, which led to players and coaches getting better deals in their transfers. Basically, just to layman speak, Safia and the Competition Commission said, look, you guys are taking back kicks, if I can call it that. You're overcharging your players, your intermediaries, you basically abusing the system, double dipping or triple dipping, if it were. That's in a nutshell, that's what was accused of yourselves.
Not exactly. They are charged or accused of having fixed a price by wanting to, or agreeing to charge 10% commission, you know, towards their clients. So again, coming to QT Sports, by the way, we don't charge a cent. All service we render to our players, you know, is for free. We don't charge them. However, we got drawn into it primarily, I suppose, because of my name, you know, being in playing a prominent role in the agency space. So really, that was the charge against the agents. It was purely based on the 10% commission that the agents.
And how many of your players? How many players, if I can put it that way, did QT Sport manage, or were part that fell under QT Sports umbrella?
I would say just above 60. You know, that's the number of players that we manage. But then, as I was saying, people should know that if the 10% was a thing of the past, by the way, historically, FIFA had imposed a 10% commission for agents worldwide. So now the matter erupted after FIFA had recommended a reduction of the percentage to 3%. That's when South African agents formed themselves into Safia, and they started taking the matter on vis-a-vis SAFA, and that's where the Competitions Commission picked up on it.
Quickly, you've got a team that you'll be running, QT Sports, former CEO, as it were now. You're deep into football now. The league starts soon, 14th. Speak to us about your team.
Yeah, it's a very exciting side. I think it will be a young, vibrant team. You know, I think it will be a breath of fresh air to many, because we looked at the opportunity. We thought maybe the country needs something quite fresh. It's been the same faces all along, you know, everywhere. So we took the opportunity, and we are preparing right now. We are on pre-season, and the squad is quite ready. I think it come week 5 to 6, the team will be ready to start its league games.
New signings? Not yet. Because you mean new signings. You saw Chiefs today unveil the coach. They said it's a new coach, but you mean it's an old coach. You came from Free State.
Indeed. In our case, it's even worse than to say new signings. I'll be expressing it quite mildly. As a matter of fact, we acquired a team that had 1 player. So we have assembled a relatively new squad. So it will be new players from squad number 1 to number 30, or whatever number it will end up being.
Tim, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. My director is telling me you have to leave it. Tim Sukazi, well, Sukazi Incorporated, is that that's how I'm going to call you now, because you're now former QT Sports CEO. Thank you very much indeed for joining us right here on The 4View. Once again, Matt.